I'd like to make a lonely little plea for my friend here, the S22 Ultra, and what it still provides in 2023 as a value option. Hard to believe, hard to say something like that. The S22 Ultra as a value option, but it is going to be an excellent choice for a lot of people, and it's still running quite well. We're going to talk about it, but not before we talk about today's video partner, Mint Mobile. If you're tired of paying too much for your cell service, then Mint Mobile has a solution for you, especially now with their best plan, their unlimited plan, running at 50% off. $15 a month gets you great 5G speeds and coverage. So use the link in the description or the QR code that you see on screen and get started today. If you have an older device, they could send a SIM card out to you. If you have a newer device, give them a call, speak to a live human being, and get set up with an eSIM. You can get set up in as little as 15 minutes, so there's no excuse to not switch over and start saving money today. Use the link in the description. Does directly help the channel, but thanks again to today's video partner, Mint Mobile. And we're back. Thanks again to today's video partner, Mint Mobile. Do take advantage of that offer. 50% off. They extended it. Great plan. $15 a month, unlimited 5G. Really, really nice. So go ahead and take advantage. Click the link in the description. Does help the channel. Okay, so the S22 Ultra. A little bit, some might say long in the tooth at this point, but it doesn't feel it. Still feels pretty good. Still feels pretty snappy. Love the display. Love the cameras on it. Love the build quality. Still looks pretty modern. Still looks like the new S23 Ultra. Not that big of a change. You know, the squared off sides on the 23 Ultra and a little bit flatter display. But a lot of people don't like the flatter display. A lot of people told me up and down, jumped up and down and said, you know what? It feels more premium when there's the curved display. So this is something that you pick up here. Beautiful color. I think the colors were better on the S22 Ultra, at least this one. And I talked about the display, still gorgeous. And I think that, I don't know whether they've gone towards, the displays aren't dimmer now, but it feels like every generation we get away from the Note 10, or really the Note 9, they make them a little less saturated. So I don't know if it's cartoony. That's why we'll turn this upside down. Smiley face, because we like this game. I don't know if they wanted to get away from their cartoony saturation. I don't know, whatever it happened to be. People wanted more natural tones for their photos or their work or social media. They didn't want that kind of poppy, saturated look. So Samsung has gone away from it. I personally prefer it. So the S23 Ultra steps even further away from that. So you could pick a little of that saturation back up on the S22 Ultra. Performance-wise, you're not going to have any issues. It's still the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. It's still super fast. It's still snappy. You're still going to run all the games with all the frames. You're still going to run all the most intensive apps that you could think of. Pokemon Go, you're going to be capturing those Pikachus without issue. You know, Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. You're not going to have any issue whatsoever. But you just go through it, and it's not something where you're looking at it and you're thinking it's a dinosaur. And then you go on Amazon and you look at the price, $600 for one of these, Amazon renewed. And I can promise you, with an Amazon renewed one, on a phone that's a little bit older now, you want to say almost 2 years old, they're going to still be in relatively good shape. They're not trade-ins from 3 and 4 years ago where the things are going to be beat up with cracked screens, and they can't be on Amazon renewed anyway. So it's a system where you get the 90 days to return it. You could use it, see if you like it, make sure it's cosmetically the way you want it to be. Make sure the battery's in good shape, because that's something you're going to want to look at. You're going to want max battery capacity, as we'll talk about in a moment. But if you're okay with that, then $650 is where this device, with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, with the 12 gigs of RAM, with the display, with the build quality, with all the rest of it, the package that you get, the periscope zoom, the laser autofocus, all those things that you get at $650 really, really starts to look good competitively against the stuff that you're going to find new in the marketplace for $650. I love the Nothing Phone 2. I might do a video on it in the next week or so, kind of an update video. I love what it provides new. But if you're somebody who's comfortable with the secondary market, you're comfortable with used phones, then something like an S22 Ultra is really kind of where you want to be if you want to get the most bang for your buck. Because when you look at this package and the build quality and the Samsung software updates, this is going to get another couple years of updates, so you got that in your back pocket as well. You're going to get Android 14, you're going to get Android 15, so you don't have really any concerns there for at least 2 or 3 years. That has value. One UI to me is the best optimized software in the business right now. It's the smoothest experience. When they update a phone, it doesn't you typically have the problems and the headaches that other manufacturers have when they update and add new features. So, and One UI 6 looks gorgeous. Love the updates to One UI 6. Love the aesthetic stuff. I know they'll come around on the animations and some of the other things that were still hiccuping in the beta, but I expect Android 15 or 14 One UI 6 on the S22 Ultra to be fantastic. S Pen's functionality, you pick that up as well. Hard to find a premium S Pen device, if you even can find a premium stylus device in the $600 price range that's going to offer everything else that this offers. So if you've been a Note user for years, you're holding on to that Note 20, you're holding on to that Note 10 Plus, you just can't justify spending $1,200, $1,100 to get yourself an S23 Ultra, well, here you go. Get yourself an S22 Ultra, spend a fraction or a half of the price, get yourself the S Pen, get yourself all the functionality, get yourself the latest and greatest One UI features without breaking your wallet. So that's absolutely an option, and one that not a lot of people don't take. If you're an enthusiast, a lot of people will take you up on that. I don't typically recommend it over a new device because you really have to be comfortable. You really have to know what you're doing. Make sure the battery capacity is there, because as we saw with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, not exactly a battery beast. Not exactly a 7-8 hour set it and forget it type of battery. This one, for me, the experience was always 5.5, 6 hours. So if you're only getting that to start with the battery at 100% when it was brand new, then you're going to want to make sure that the battery health is as good as it can get. And you could do that now in the Samsung app. I believe they put that finally as a function in the Samsung battery app where you could see the health of the battery. So you could look it up and see, hey, mine's at 90%, 95%, 96%, whatever it is. You're over 90, you're in good shape now, about 2 years old. So I would take a look at that. And if you can get decent battery life on it, then this is absolutely worth picking up. But like I said, know what you're doing. Look at the cosmetics of it. Don't just accept something because you bought it. Don't be afraid to return something. If you're somebody who's afraid to return something, you don't want to ruffle any feathers, you don't like sending stuff back, you get lackadaisical with it, till you put it in the box or whatever, whatever happens to be, or you let the deadline pass, then a renewed phone isn't for you. If you're diligent, if you're somebody that's going to take it out of the box, put it under a fine tooth, put it on that loom or whatever, take a look at it, make sure there's no cracks, no nothing, check the battery, go through your paces, do your due diligence, then you could find some phenomenal deals on these older flagships. And you're talking, like I said, about 2 years old at this point, a year and 9 months, and it's still going to give you blazing speed, fantastic build, excellent Samsung panel, and all the rest of it for about half of what you pay on an S23 Ultra. So if you've been sitting there and you're like, you know what, I'm going to hold on to my Note 9 another year, I'm not going to do it. You know what, get yourself one of these. $600. If you don't like it, or if you feel that you do want to go forward with an S24 Ultra, these trade-in values when they do the promotional one might be at least $600, $400 or $500. So you pick this up, you use it for a few months or whatever, trade it in, you could upgrade, or if you like it and you like the experience and you're going to get updates, and save it and wait for the S25 Ultra. Lots of flexibility when you buy one of these on Amazon Renuity, or buy one if you can find one in good condition on eBay. It gives you a lot of options, whether it's trade-in down the line or just using it and being happy with it as is. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that delicious day.